Okay. All right. I think we're definitely live.
Oh, we're live now.
All right. I'm like, did you silence your phone?
I'm still paying attention to it.
Did you silence your phone? I turned it off. Yes, I did. Good. Then you won't owe me any money today.
No, I don't.
Hello, Amber Coleman.
Hello.
And hello to all of you who are joining us today. We are so excited to be coming back to you. We skipped a week, which we don't like doing. We like being here, being live, large, and in charge for you every single week. But you went to a conference, right?
I did. It was really good.
Yeah. Where was it?
San Diego.
San Diego.
It's always beautiful to be on the water. It's like something happens when you're on the water. Like,
yeah. I always want, anytime someone says San Diego, I immediately think of Anchorman. It's like, go yourself, San Diego, or San Diego, a whale's vagina. You know, like all the jokes from that movie. So
I did want to watch Anchorman.
Yeah, I love Will Ferrell. So we're super happy that you're joining us. I'm Laci. This is Amber. We're here to kind of just chat with you today about the hell is going on in the housing market here in Las Vegas as of 2023 February, right?
Can you believe it's February?
I cannot.
It's going by pretty fast.
Here's my problem, and I'm realizing this about myself. I am always in the future at all times. So much so that I don't ever live in the present, which is a problem that I'm working on. My therapist.
We're working on it.
Yeah. So because of it, like I'm always surprised when it's February because I thought it was going to be August. You know, my brain is already thinking about August.
You're already like summertime.
Yeah, I'm ready for summer. I'm actually not ready.
You got the bikinis ready. You're ready for summertime.
No. I am not ready for a bikini. Are you ready for a bikini? If you're ready for a bikini, let us know. So this is for you. Our live streams are always meant to be for you. So if you have questions, do us a favor, drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. We will happily answer those questions towards the end. We've got a few updates for you. We're going to walk you through the market, what the heck's going on with the market, what you can expect this year. And really at the end of the day, we want to kind of give you a sense of how and why we feel so confident in what we tell you each and every week. You know, it is a mess out there when it comes to the information about housing and about the economy.
It's all over the place. Like
Nightmare.
You can see the confusion has just moved from like one place to another.
Absolutely. So for those of you who are just joining us, what we like to do each week, in addition to answering your questions, is we like to launch or outline or say out loud a new program, whether it be a grant program or a loan program as well, so that you guys can get excited about some of the new stuff and the free freaking money that might be out there for you, right?
Yes.
So if you're tuning in just now, no matter where you're tuning in, thank you again for joining us. Again, drop your questions like it's hot in that comment box below. And the biggest message I have to say is, if you're thinking about moving to Las Vegas, we better be the ones that you call first, because we are the ones that are going to serve you intelligently, with love, with care, but we're badasses and we know what we're doing. So bottom line is we stand by our freaking work ethic and what we do here. So so let's start with the housing market. Let's just jump right into it here. So give me your sense of what you felt. First of all, let's remind everybody of our predictions in the last 5-6 months. What have we been saying?
I think it was just at the end of November that we went on and said, look, this is the sweet spot right now. December,
I think we called it
January,
the juicy, crunchy granola bar.
Yes, thank you for reminding me what we exactly called it. But we said between December, January, and February, those were going to be the spots where you could get the most incentives,
the most insane deals possible,
and the deals. Were we wrong?
We were not wrong, my friend. So, and that is a little pat on the back for us.
We need some pats on the back,
and we're reminding you of that now, because we want to talk about what's happening now, because we are feeling a slight shift, but it's not a slight shift in a wrong direction. It's just definitely a shift.
Yeah.
You are an oracle. You are a wizard. We need to figure out how to like have you be like, what was that? Call who did you used to call the psychic? Call Miss Cleo. This is Miss Cleo over here. I couldn't think of her name.
You remember.
Girl, I'm an 80s baby. So what have you been feeling now that we're in February, now that we're in kind of the end part of that crunchy granola bar that we've been predicting for so long? What are you feeling?
Well, what I'm feeling, because I'm seeing the level of people that are looking at houses. Like I'm seeing the
everything's
calls
going up.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the calls that are coming in the door right now. So I'm seeing that there's a lot of movement coming. There's a lot of movement. And whenever there's movement and there's interest within the next month or so, there's a lot of people buying.
Right.
And that means incentives go down.
Right. And that means by incentives, we mean all the juicy, crunchy deals start to pull back.
They start to go down. Like you start having to fight a little bit.
So your sense of the market shifting is the number of interest phone calls that you're getting, or emails, or contact through our videos, or through people that are following you or that know you from your past or from your own business, right? That are calling saying, I've been thinking about buying, or I want to see what's possible. It's not because they read some article that we are not privy to. It's not because we've been pushing them or marketing to them.
Because you can't trust all that.
You cannot. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it's because it's just when you feel the surge of calls, you know something's
and I
coming.
track it month to month, year to year. Like I'm tracking it all the time. So I can see like, okay, we're heading into something different right now.
Right.
or like in October when the calls were really low.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you started seeing a little bit of surge in December. I was like, right now's the time.
Yep.
Because we're going to see something. So I'm tracking it based on what's coming in. But what I see coming in too, like when you look at national levels, the applications that come in, right? So
when
we're
people are pulling the trigger to actually pull that application for themselves.
Those are up. I believe last week it was up like 28%.
Okay.
So when you're looking at that kind of stuff, that's what you have to look at to be able to see where the market's going to go.
Right.
Like look at that raw data, like, okay, our applications up. When applications are down,
right.
then you got a different market.
Then nobody's out there buying.
You're in a buyer's market and you can ask for a lot, but when they're up and
it's starting to shift,
you're going to have to start looking at either act sooner or you'll be in a different market come a month.
Right. So that's what you're seeing on the lending side. From our perspective on the buying side, or on the, buying and selling side, right? We represent both buyers and sellers in both commercial and residential real estate. What we're seeing now is a lot more people coming to the market to buy because they're already going through the process of getting, approved for their loan. They're now out shopping. So when we go out to new home builders, there's way more bodies in the building looking at the houses. We're getting an interest level of phone calls is going up on our side as well. Yeah. Typically we have them start with you and then they come to us, but regardless, we're getting that increased, sense of urgency for people as well. And then really the biggest thing is multiple offers on houses.
I know we're back.
Not 100% back.
Not as bad as it was. But
it depends on the price point, but we're starting to see sellers go, I already got 3 offers today. Or, it's just a real shift of, oh, wow. Okay. So now we have to be strategic when we write your offer. We help you understand the market, what you're walking into. Things change, right? So we predicted it in October, November. We are here on the day, pretty much saying exactly as we stated. What is your gut prediction? We're going to walk you through some stats in a second, but what's your gut prediction right now for the next couple of months? What are you feeling?
Well, I feel like there probably will be like a start and a stop,
right?
Like a start and a stop kind of mentality, in that we know that with what happened in 2022, that the market depends on rates, right?
Yep.
So like rates are dependent on inflation, and our inflation numbers are a comparison over last year. Right. So our inflation numbers are going to look better this year than it was last year. But like what we saw last week happen was on Friday, a jobs report came out and it was better jobs than we've had for like 40 years. I don't know the exact number, but I was like,
which seems wrong to me.
Why are we seeing all this news everywhere that people are laying off, but the jobs report comes out so good, right? So like what I feel like is going to happen is we're going to be seeing like a go, and then a hold for a second, and then a go, and then hold. It's not going to be the roller coaster of last year. Last year was a roller coaster.
This is a roller coaster anyway. Last year, I don't ever want to take that ride again.
Oh,
ever.
No, we made it.
Yes, we made it. So that's my take as well. So when we give you updates like, this is what's happening and the good times have gone, they will come back. So that's why it's so important when you're thinking about even continuing to move forward with this idea of moving to Vegas or investing in Vegas, to let us be your eyes and ears on the ground, so that when you tell us what your goal is, we make sure that you're the one that we notify when your goal can be met, right?
Yeah.
Let's run through some of the market information here. So I'm going to put up the housing snapshot as of January, because we're always looking backwards when it comes to real estate. Now, since these numbers have come out, we've actually started to see that shift happening, right?
So this was January.
This is as of January. Our median house price is at $425,000. Now that's down obviously from what it was just late last year, but the median price for the new listings is still at $455,900. So what that means is the people who are listing their homes are still doing everything they can and still in a little bit of a wonderland, trying to get what their neighbor got when their neighbor sold last year.
Are they still trying to do that?
Well, look at the listing price by comparison to what they actually sold for, right?
Yeah,
so what they're listing it at and what they're selling it for, there's a big difference there. That money, that big difference, is typically going in the pockets of the home buyer, you, up until very recently, because that difference was closing costs, right? That difference was, reducing of the price, whatever, right? So just keep that in mind. We've got about a little over 4 months worth of inventory, which is a really good number. When we're at 6 months of inventory, it's like the most balanced, most beautiful market ever. We're not quite there yet. And I'm okay with the 4 months, right? I'd like it to be a little higher, but we're good, right?
We'll take it
We'll take it. For condos, we're at $255,000, which is our median home price. And again, they're still listing it a little higher before they come down on that price point. So that tells you that there's negotiability. Now, as we move into February, as we just mentioned before, we're going to see that negotiability probably shrink, but it may also grow a couple months after that. It's really going to be dependent on what happens.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the housing market. Really excited to be able to share those stats with you. We're happy to answer questions regarding those stats or anything that we've talked about up to this point. As we move through this, I guess the big thing is you always want to know if you ever need to get in touch with us or want to have a one-to-one conversation. That's usually the best time for us to shine.
And we love it when you do.
We really love it
when you do.
As it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, click the link in the description. That's the easiest way to get a hold of us. We would love to set up a one-on-one convo with you, because if you're ready to strike when that iron is hot, you'll be the first one we call when it's hot enough to go, and we can go, right?
Yeah.
Then there's no delay, right? Okay, so let's talk about the new loan or grant program that we were going to roll out today. Can we talk about it before we roll it out?
This was a good one. When I was looking at it, I'm like, whoa.
So we've got like Clark County, Nye County. We've got all kinds of little areas around here and down in southern Nevada down here. So this one is specific to Nye County. Am I right? Let's do it. Roll through it.
It is specific to Nye County. So in Nye County is it about an hour drive or 45 minutes?
It's about 45 minutes to 45 minutes.
It's not very far out. It's not very far out. But when we were looking at this program, the rates on it, I can't go through rates on YouTube because rates change daily, but they are better than the going rate and quite a bit better than the going rate.
Nice.
So what it's going to require is that there's definitely an income limit to it. So depending on how many people are in your household we'll calculate how much income you're allowed to make to be able to qualify for this program.
Nice.
Right. So then you can't have owned a house in the last 3 years. So what they consider first-time home buyer is somebody who doesn't own a house within the last 3 years.
Got it.
So you have to be there, and then you have to be in a Nevada residence for at least 6 months.
Nice.
Or at least one person on the application has to be a Nevada residence for the last 6 months.
I love that.
Okay. And then there's a home buyer education class, which classes are pretty simple.
They're awesome.
You can do them online. Like you don't have to go face to face.
So it's the assistance of either $16,000 or $5,000 on top of your mortgage. So does that get applied to your down payment? Is that applied to closing costs?
Either one.
Nice.
So like most of the time what you want to, like how you want to structure it if you're buying it. When I looked at the one that's $5,000, the rate was really good on it. I was shocked. I had a double take at it.
Wow.
For the one at $5,000. But like, say for example, if you're still in a place where you can get a seller to pay closing costs and you can get that $5,000 towards your down payment, then you're reducing your down payment.
Wow.
Or if you don't have money to be able to come in with a down payment, you could take the little bit higher of a rate, take the $16,000 to pay your down payment. That would pay down payment and closing costs.
Just sneezed. Sorry.
Bless I was like, you. That was really cute.
Say that last part again. So if you take
depending on what your purchase price is, so depending on how high you go, you can get the $16,000 could cover your down payment plus majority of your closing costs.
Nice.
Or some of your closing costs, depending on the loan amount.
I like that it's flexible on how you can apply it.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about Nye County for a little bit, because I think, it's rural housing. They quote unquote rural housing. And that's what this is kind of meant to kind of perpetuate as far as excitement about that. Not a lot of people realize that we do have that kind of experience just outside of Vegas, like 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes,
a lot of people live out there and then they commute in.
Yeah.
They want to live in the rural areas.
Exactly.
But still work in the
they
city.
love that they live in the desert, but they don't want to have to deal with traffic or whatever. Not that we have that much of that, but as things grow and build out, we will, right? So P.S. Nye County is going to probably be a central part of Las Vegas and how this all works in the next 25 years, right?
You're
because
right.
That's how fast things are building. So with that being said, for those of you, we have a lot of you that reach out and say, what about Pahrump? I see awesome deals out there. What about Mesquite? I see awesome deals. Nye County is just another awesome area where you can really take advantage.
Nye County is Pahrump.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Nye County is Pahrump.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
anyway,
if you're asking about Pahrump, that's
you're asking about Nye
place.
County. Sorry about that. I always confuse those. I don't know why I always think it's the other one that starts with a W. But let me add that.
Washoe or something like that. Yeah. Because that's not very far away. That's probably why you confuse it.
Yes. I'm adding this to the screen one more time just to reiterate. So this is a Nye County, Pahrump area and surrounding, which is only about a 45-minute drive from Vegas. Really awesome rural housing grant. And you have to obviously meet the eligibility requirements at the bottom, but it's $16,000 or $5,000. That's very flexible. I just want to reiterate how flexible it is.
So, and just to kind of give you, because you're probably looking at like 16,000 or $5,000, that's a weird number.
Right.
But the reason why I'm sure they did this is because the $5,000 one gives a way better interest rate. So
Nice.
if you're high on debt to income ratio, but still need some money to get into the house, then that might be a better option. If your debt to income ratio is good, but you just need some money to be able to get in the house because it's hard to save with inflation and everything else that's going on, then the $16,000 might be a good option.
That's awesome.
This one's also available on FHA or conventional loans. So we can look at both options depending on what your FICO scores are. So.
I love that. I love when there's a grant program that's flexible, because a lot of times there are some that are super duper strict. You can't apply the money to this, can't apply the money to that. So when they're flexible, it just allows us to get creative, which is what we do best. It's what we do
love
best.
Being creative.
Absolutely.
We love those worlds.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why is everybody so confused? We started to touch on this a little bit before about how there's the jobs report and there's the mass media saying one thing, and then every minute of every day, you're going to get something saying something negative that's going to want you to click, things like that. So I wanted to just touch on that's why everyone's confused.
The clickbait.
And I think what's been really beautiful is to see the people who have started to really lean into our advice and trust us over the last year and take themselves from being a never going to be a homeowner, always going to be a renter, I'm a naysayer because I'm listening to the national media, into I'm smart because I'm listening and tuning into the local experts who are boots on the ground every single day, and then taking advantage of now becoming homeowners and sometimes investors with multiple properties, right? So I just wanted to touch on why is everybody so confused? That's why there's a national conversation happening that's still even confusing on that level, honestly.
It's all confusing. It's all confusing.
But then there's the local. So we say this a lot in our live streams, and I just wanted to reiterate, if you're serious about considering the opportunity to invest your money, whether it be your butt and money or just your money in Las Vegas, like getting your butt here.
I was like your butt,
like getting your butt here. Your butt, meaning your physical being, your butt, and your money, or just your butt and or just your money. If you're at all serious about that, please consider talking to us first. Let us be your boots on the ground. And the reason everybody's so confused is because they're not talking to us. Not everybody's talking to us. And those that are getting the payoff. So, all right, let's move over to, let's just talk about what you can expect this year. Because I definitely have a few things I want to talk about when it comes to listing a home and buying a home. Do you mind if I take over?
Yeah, take over. I'm excited to hear it.
Well, thank you. So we last year, in the last 6 months, we are always going to give you the advice that's going to be for your best interest. There's a lot of realtors out there, I hate to say it, that are going to slam you into a house, even if it's not the right house for you, or that are going to encourage you to list your house at a lower price instead of encouraging you to wait because they want that money now, right? We don't lead with that. Money is not our motivator. Actually, it's a demotivator sometimes for me because it makes me, feel dirty about it. What I love more than anything is that our team has stood by that principle in the last 6 months. We've had a couple of clients that had to sell. So we worked with them very closely to freaking sell their houses. And it was not a fun process. And they ended up losing money because it was the time of the deal. It's the deal of the century, right? They were giving it all away.
It was during that sweet spot for buyers, not sellers.
But we've then had clients who listened to us and we said, listen, just wait. Just wait till February. Wait till February. So if you're thinking about listing your home for sale, and this is specific to Vegas, I know that we're like on the rise in a weird way and we're kind of an anomaly. So I don't know if this will apply to you in other states. Now is a really good time to consider putting your house on the market right now. So if you're thinking about that, we are very good listing agents. We are experts at it. Let us know. Click the link in the description. We would happily help you consider that. Also, how about refis? Is now a good time for refis or no? What's the rate feel like?
It depends on what you need. Like sometimes you'll need to take money out of your house.
Right.
It's not going to be as good of a rate as what you would have had like if you refinanced a couple of years ago or bought a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But you could take out HELOCs and then look to do refinance later. So we can always talk about that.
Okay.
But just to your point on the listing agents, like why wouldn't somebody want to use you and your team? Because the amount of media that you put out to help their houses sell, then just knowing the knowledge, when you're listing the houses, I mean, that would be the question to me. Like, if I was looking for a listing agent, I would want to get the most exposure.
Yeah.
And that would be you.
Thank you.
You're all over
I did not pay her to say this, but I should probably pay. I'll buy you lunch after this. Thank you. Thank you. So we're ready to list your house now. So if you're thinking about moving around to another part of the city, you're ready to buy, you're ready to go up or down. We're ready. Now's the time to list. Now for the next few months, I think is going to be great. As a buyer, if you're thinking about buying, it's still a great time to buy. It's just going to be a little bit of an educational process for us to understand your needs, your goals, your limitations when it comes to what you may or may not qualify for or what down payment assistance you might need, if at all. And at the end of it, if you want new or resale, because there's still interesting, weird deals happening on both sides. And it also depends on the price point.
And you can still get that crunchy granola. You just have to be willing to here's what I need. And then you guys kind of do your job and trying to find it.
Yeah.
And then we work together on everything.
So for buyers, our job is not impossible yet, and I hope it doesn't get there, but it's definitely getting a little bit more difficult to get that amazing deal for you. So what we ask of you, if you're a buyer, is come with an open mind, come willing to trust our opinion and trust us, because what we want is to get you an incredible deal and get you into the right home. And don't worry, don't fret. We're in that weird transition phase where we're asking people to list their homes, which is great, which means it's going to be good for sellers soon, or it's starting to be, but we're not telling buyers to slow down and not buy yet. So we're in this really cool transitional phase, and we probably will be for a couple of months. So don't let clickbait and all the other stuff like send you the other direction, right?
Spring buying season seems like
spring buying season's coming out, which is weird because everybody thought that was a thing before. And we would love for you to start the process of buying now, though, because when it does finally hit spring, all bets are off. I really think that that's when it's going to get hectic again. So, so that's the bottom line. Just wanted to speak directly to you sellers as well as to you buyers, because we really want to make sure that we're always giving you real-time information. So that's that. All right, let's go to some audience Q&A. I'm tired of talking. I'm sure you are too.
Yes, let's answer some
see what everybody has for us here. Okay, let me pop over to the comment section. All right. My allergies are kicking in again. How much?
Your dang allergies.
I know.
Huh?
Las Vegas Guys 101 says, how much is it to go on a vacation in Las Vegas, and how much money do you need for one person? To eat and have fun. One time I'm coming here, and what do you have first timers in Vegas? I'm from Illinois. It was like broken up into multiples.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a hard one to answer.
Great question. Thank you. Yeah. So, it's hard to say how much money you need. It depends on your taste level. I know that I feel like there's some articles out there that'll actually say, if you're going to Vegas and you have this kind of a level of taste, here's what you should bring. It also depends on where you stay in. Are you trying to stay on the Strip? Are you trying to stay downtown? I'm not going to be able to give you a number. I would say,
do you like to gamble?
I
like to gamble.
Yeah, because I don't gamble. So when I travel, I'm pretty cheap in Vegas when I travel, because I don't need to gamble and I don't waste money in that fashion.
Yeah.
So here's what I would say is set a budget for each thing, right? Set a budget for your housing, and know housing meaning where you're going to stay, and know that you're probably just going to sleep there, or might sleep somewhere else, depending on if you're coming alone. I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. So set up a budget for your housing, and don't try to go too crazy bougie on your first trip to Vegas. Take advantage of all the great deals that we have in downtown Vegas. There's shuttles, there's free transportation, they're easy peasy to get around. So take advantage of that. There's also really great deals at like the Sahara, or what's the new one that's down there? Resorts World. And
does the Resort World have some good deals?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. So, but Sahara has great deals. So at the further down the Strip you go, better deals you're going to get. And again, all of them have shuttles and ways for you to get around. It's all good. If you're bound and determined to have some bougie experience, book that Bellagio or that Cosmo and plan on paying probably $1,000 a night. I don't know, or $600 a night. It depends on when you're coming too. Midweek, weekend, is there something going on in town? If not,
midweek is a lot cheaper.
It's a really hard question to answer. For food, I highly recommend that be the biggest budget that you have, because if you're going to be on the Strip, which I guarantee you will be most of the time because you're a first timer, food on the Strip is much more expensive than it is off the Strip. If you want to look at my channel and watch a bunch of my awesome videos that talk about really rad and affordable, cool places off the Strip, that could actually lessen the budget quite a bit. And then if you're a gambler, good luck. I'm not going to tell you what to do with that money, but have a good time. I hope that was a good answer to your question. I'm sorry I can't just give you a number, but I think setting a budget for each and setting expectations and not getting wrapped up in all the hullabaloo of needing to go bougie, it'll probably save you some cash. So
I think you did a great job.
Thank you. All right. Brent says hi. Jonathan says hi.
Hey,
Nolans to Vegas says hi. Let's see. Delana says, I need a tax attorney, can do California tax. I'm disabled worker and major hardship. Really need a tax attorney help. Delana, you know what's awesome is I actually just met with, she's not a tax attorney, but she is a registered agent, and she does tax resolution for people, like in the biggest possible way. I'm going to be putting out that video in the next few days. I would love for you to send us your information by clicking the link in the description, and we can connect you with her. Her name is Tracy Jansen, and it's Targeted Tax Relief. If you want to Google it, Targeted Tax Relief. She would be an amazing person for you to connect with. Stay tuned for our Q&A session that we did just a few days ago. We're going to be putting that out soon, but absolutely give her a call, because before you go to an attorney that might cost more money, she may be able to actually fix your problems immediately.
You having the answer.
I know. I'm feeling like I'm on it. So if you don't want to reach out to us, which we would love you to, please go ahead and Targeted Tax Relief. Tracy Jansen. Let her know Las Vegas Gal sent you. Jonathan says, is it better to rent an apartment? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, are we comparing it to owning? Because I would say no.
Jonathan, we're always going to tell you we want you to own a house, right?
Yeah, we're always going to tell you to own a house, because honestly, millionaires don't become millionaires without real estate.
That's right.
Right? Like, it's a long-term thing.
Right.
You're always going to win with real estate when you're looking at it long-term.
But if he has to rent, is it better to rent a house or an apartment? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it kind of just depends, like the apartments sometimes can give you the apartments aren't usually as picky as the houses.
Yeah.
So if you have some credit issues, you might be able to, apartment might be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But than a house would. What do you think?
Apartments also have like amenities, like a nice pool, and they have the gym, and they have the socials. It's lower maintenance. They're going to be much more strict when it comes. Actually, everyone right now is very strict from a rental perspective with pets. So if you have pets, I don't know what I'm going to tell you about that. Actually,
so nobody's taking pets right now.
Not as much. Apartments are probably going to be more lenient, but it is a process. So I would say if you have to rent, my gut always says start with an apartment and do a short-term lease, 6 months or less, because that'll give you the time to shop for a house.
And let's get you ready to buy. Let's work that game plan.
Because honestly, renting is going to be more expensive than buying in some aspects, especially with what we're doing these days. Yeah. So, all right, next question is living in Omaha. Hey, David. He says, did you guys see one of the market crash content creators made a road trip to Las Vegas area last week? Nope, I didn't see that.
Didn't see that one.
I try to not to watch people who say market crash because I don't believe the market's going to crash. But yeah, that's interesting. People love coming to Vegas. All the content creators want to live here because they should. So
one thing that's interesting too is yesterday I was talking to somebody who runs a builder, like a national builder.
Yeah.
Right? I was talking to somebody who runs a national builder, and they were like, "What is going on with Vegas right now?" Because that particular builder, which is a national builder,
right?
Vegas was killing it in sales.
All of a sudden, so that shift.
What the market we're dealing with might be a little different than other markets, like in the United States.
It's definitely different, and that's why we really are kind of focused on you guys making sure you're listening to us and not the national media.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk to Leolo. Says, hi, ladies. In general, do incentive programs for primary residences apply to condos as well as houses? Do they distinguish between the types of residences? Is this too simplistic or generalized?
Well, no.
I think they apply to everything.
Yeah, they apply to everything. Yeah. But the only thing is condos. Sometimes you have to watch the condos if you're doing an FHA loan,
right?
Because not all condos are approved for FHA. Because what happens with a condo is you own the interior of the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the exterior, the roof, the even the land is owned by the HOA. So the lending company has to approve the HOA and you as a buyer. And a lot of times FHA doesn't approve certain condos depending on what they have going on in there.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a first-time home buyer program that's related to an FHA loan, you might have a little bit more problems on a condo versus like a townhouse. You got no problems.
But otherwise, they're pretty generally applied to to where you can live, right? Condos, townhomes, and single family, even high rises sometimes. It just depends, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. That's actually good news. Okay. DLVTT says, when looking at the median price of homes, is there a big gap between East, West, and North Las Vegas? How's it looking today compared to a year ago?
Oh, we need to get those reports, huh?
I don't have those reports handy, but I will say this. Now versus a year ago, we're definitely down in terms of the median home price, which is a wonderful thing. A year ago is actually where it was really kind of skyrocketing. So we might be closer to 1 year ago versus maybe 9 months ago. Like over 3 months after a year ago, like a year ago today, probably pretty close. And then it went boom, right up, and then we came back down, right? But as far as like big difference between East, West, and North, I mean, there's definitely a difference, but it's not massive, right? The places that are the most popular, Henderson and Summerlin, are always going to be the higher priced homes of the communities. East Las Vegas is a little bit not as convenient because it's further away from the freeways and it's older. So that's always going to be a little bit lower priced and awesome, a little bit more of a bargain. North Las Vegas, believe it or not, has multiple variations. They've got the bougie North Las Vegas. They've got the older North Las Vegas. They've got out by the track. They've got all kinds of stuff. So, but I will say that we use the median price for a reason, because it really does give a really nice kind of full, complete picture of what's going on. When we start talking about your budget and your desire for where you want to live and the type of lifestyle you want to lead, that's going to really help you get a way better understanding of like what you can afford and how much you can get depending on where you're willing to live. And we'll be very honest about it. We're going to let you know what you're going to get with each and every area of town. And we'll kind of go from there. So I hope that answered your question. Yeah, good one. All right. What size condos are the sales stats based on? 2 bedroom, 2 bath. It's, it's across all of them. So they don't differentiate.
Taking an average of everything.
It's a median. Yeah, it's a median across all sizes. So, which I think is, again, a smart way to look at it. Because if you're just taking 2 bedroom, 2 bath, then the people who are thinking about moving here that need the 3 bed are going to absolutely be expecting something that's a way different price point. So again, all the stats that I share with you, which I'll put back up on the screen if you guys want to take a look at those really quickly here, are all based across the board on every home sold, every home listed, every condo sold or townhome, and every condo or townhome listed, right? So they're not differentiating or drilling it down, which I'm actually grateful for. I really think it's important. All right, let me get rid of that. All right.
Look at these questions. Love it.
Hi, Laci. FYI, the link in the description didn't work. It gave 404. Okay. I don't know why. That's kind of strange. Sorry about that. Yikes. I don't know what else to say. If you want to go to cerronegroup.vegas, that's our website. You can certainly click that. I must have typed it in and pushed like a button afterward that added a period or something. Sorry about that.
Good.
We'll fix it. Also, as soon as we're done with this live stream, you can watch the replay and I will have updated the description by then. So sorry about that.
Thanks for letting us know.
Thank you for the heads up. Good stuff. All right. Oh, this is a good one. Aaron Jackson. There's a new casino that's being built in Inspirada via Inspirada and Bicentennial starting January 2024. What will this do to the value of the existing townhomes and homes very close to the casino? Aaron, great question.
That is a great question.
We've got quite a few new casinos popping up around town. So I'll talk about that briefly. So I was driving my son to a We the People speech and debate tournament over the weekend. Turning off of the Craig Road exit in North Las Vegas, which is a pretty industrial area.
Yeah.
I noticed that there is a brand new casino that's a locals casino going up right there. And
I didn't realize that. So
I had no idea. Yes, I was so confused. It's also the very first casino geared towards the Hispanic community, period. Like, so the name is in Spanish. The hotel connected to it was in Spanish. All the advertisements were in Spanish and English. So it was really freaking awesome to see that. I was like, hell yeah. Why didn't anybody think of about that sooner? So there's that. There's also one going, Durango Station is opening in the Southwest. That's going to be doing great things.
That's the one that's right off like Sunset, right?
Mm-hmm. And then there's also one going on out by the Raiders facility.
Who's opening these? Is it like
Station Casinos. The ones that own the one that I just mentioned is a Hooters mixed with the people that own Twin Peaks. It's like a Hooters-esque casino kind of.
Cool.
And then I don't know about who owns the one in the South, but it really helps greatly from an infrastructure perspective. So from a value perspective, I don't know that because there's a casino down the street, you're going to immediately get more money for your house, but it makes the house more desirable. So it gives more reason for people to say yes when choosing your house versus a house that maybe isn't close to some of those awesome features, right? You've got concerts are happening. You've got a food court. You've got movie theaters. Usually you've got, the locals pool that you can take advantage of. You've got a hotel nearby for friends to stay in. And then not to forget to mention all the beautiful restaurants that are inside these casinos. So it's about damn time is all I'm going to say in the words of Lizzo that we started to build out these areas of town.
It's been a long time.
And what that should tell you guys is that the city has grown enough from a population perspective that we need them now, because these casinos eat each other alive from a cannibalistic perspective. Like when they're trying to get market share and trying to steal from you got my big player, I want to bring him back. They're beating each other up all the time. So to see them finally building so many all at once tells me, we really did explode over the last 2 years. It's not just me feeling it when I'm driving on the freeway.
That's a good feeling.
It's crazy. Yeah. So we love it.
Especially,
and people in Vegas who are locals, and you'll get this if you become a local, we freaking love we love a casino opening. We love a casino opening.
We do. We all go to it. Yeah. Every casino that's opening.
I don't ever see a direct correlation to financial incentive for buyers around there or sellers around there, homeowners. But I do see it just makes the area better. It always brings the area up from all the amenities.
Entertainment, and it's nice when it's right down the street from where you live.
Absolutely. Look at we got $5. Thank you so much, David. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
I feel bad that the link didn't work. I'm sure I was moving too quickly and I pushed a button. But again, cerronegroup.vegas, or just go to my YouTube, any other channel. I promise they'll work. Thank you again. All right, let's see here. DLVTT says, do you expect housing prices to rise now once F1 arrives this year and the big game next year? What do you think?
Okay, what's F1?
F1, Formula One racing.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that we were getting that? They're building a track around the city.
I didn't even know we were getting it.
What? How you don't know
I did hear that. I just didn't know. Formula One is like this. Okay, never mind. I'm not even going to act
dumb. I'm
not going to act dumb right now.
Here's what I'll say.
That's awesome.
I don't think prices are going to go up because of that. It's the same answer to the last question, but we have more than $4.5 billion that are of investment happening right now all over the strip and around town, right? So people and companies are investing their money in Vegas, and because of that, that's helping elevate the city as a whole, right? So when we were talking earlier about how it's a little bit of an anomaly right now that other cities are not selling quickly and they're not picking up, but we are. And it's because of a lot of this stuff, right? People see we get the Super Bowl next year. People are seeing F1's here and they're going to be here to stay, right? Those are consistent types of cool experiences that are going to continue to happen in our city that make people want to come They make people want to visit. They make people want to stay. So whether you're investing to have an Airbnb, you're investing to come and just enjoy it and have a place to stay and then rent it out otherwise, like, when you're doing all this stuff, it's elevating our city as a whole, and we're being taken more seriously across the board.
I'm just excited about Formula One.
I'm still too. I'm a huge fan.
I don't
and
know
by the way, where you live,
I'm not
girl,
a huge fan.
Where you live, girl? Woo, I want to watch it from your house.
Oh, is it going to be right there?
We're
like,
going to talk later.
Like Paradise?
It's going to be right around over there. It's right in front of. It's right behind the main section for where it's going to be built is behind Planet Hollywood, which is down the street.
I gotta look this up.
Girl, but the track is going to be built and rebuilt each time. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. So again, don't see a direct correlation for prices. I definitely see it. Excitement, elevation in the value overall as our city, and tourism is going to keep going up. So
love it.
All right, look at this. Kay says, hi, how much is your fee for selling condos selling condos at 180,000? Kay, so we actually customize our pricing based on the needs of you as our client. So we've got a packaging setup that we could walk you through that starts our rates where you would pay us 7% all the way down to 4%. It just really depends on what you need and what we think is going to be needed to market it. I'm not really comfortable quoting you an exact number because I don't know what you need. I also haven't seen this place. So what kind of a thing am I looking at selling here? Is it in awesome condition? Has it recently been updated? What's the location? All that. So would love to give you more information. I would say click the link in our description, but clearly that's not working. So reach out. But you know how to reach us, CerroneGroup.Vegas. In fact, I'll put that on the bottom of this the screen.
I love how you guys customize it too, though.
We do.
Everybody's needs are so different.
Yeah.
And depending on the area that they're in and stuff like that.
Yes. I'm going to add this banner, and then I'm going to show this bad boy. So if you guys need to reach us, go to CerroneGroup.Vegas. So sorry about the link today. But we're really, really excited. Yeah, we do customize everything we do for all of our clients. We are not,
awesome that you do that.
And a lot of agents don't. And I get upset.
Well, because it's not a one size fits all when you have a house to sell.
It's not. Absolutely not. Yeah. And you may not be in a rush.
Some houses don't need that much.
Yeah. So thank you for asking. Yeah. We would love to list your condo, and we are really freaking good at it. So let's talk. Oh, look at this. Hey, it's Valentine. Amber, any news on the Touchtone Living Independence community? Still interested in their duplexes? Tell me more about that?
Well, that's a new community that's open on the east side. Do you remember where the Royal Links golf course was?
Yeah.
Over
east side, which is typically a little bit of a lower priced area.
Yeah. So they bought that golf course, and now it's turning into a housing division.
Oh, cool.
So
oh my gosh.
This summer is what it looks like. Is when that's opening.
So new community. So stay tuned. We'll be doing some tours of those duplexes and see what we can do to showcase to you those options. They're probably not on sale yet, right?
No, they're not for sale yet.
We'll keep you guys posted. That's exciting. And because Miss Amber seems to have the in, we'll make sure we make those phone calls for you. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. You guys were saying that the market changes from buyers to sellers are back based on the market. Is that seasonal winter versus spring? Oh, great question, Gregory.
Yeah, that is a great question.
So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
I mean, typically, in the past, before COVID.
Yeah, because COVID changed everything. Right.
Went crazy, right? But in the past, springtime is spring buying season. That's when you usually see higher movement in the market, right? And higher movement means the prices change a little bit.
Holidays are dead as a doornail.
Holidays are dead. That's why it's usually a good time
to
buy.
Through January or February. Right.
That's why it's usually a good time to buy. So in normal markets, if we go back to normal, excluding COVID time, there's a big difference between spring and summertime.
Yeah. But right now,
winter.
It's been flipped on its head. And that's why we're doing these weekly updates, because we really take it seriously that we want you guys to have in the real time, as much as we can, the updates of what's happening. We feel the market. We've predicted since COVID began, and probably before, but we weren't doing these as much before. Since COVID began, not one of the predictions of what's going on with the market coming out of your mouth or mine has been incorrect.
No, we predicted it all the way through, at the very beginning of COVID.
Yeah. So we stand by what we say because we know what we're saying is the truth. But yes, so definitely a little bit of a difference. But again, it's still in that shift mode, and that shift mode may take another month or two, right? So as a buyer, don't worry. And as a seller, don't worry. I think this is a really good moment for everybody to hopefully come back to a little bit more of a level experience.
Yeah.
But we can still get you a deal. Don't you worry. We know how to get you a deal. Oh, Delana says, good vibes. Thank you. We love you, Delana. Thank you.
Delana.
Chris says, I called you last week. Did you get my message? I didn't get your message, but I was told you called. And I promise you, I will be reaching out. I just haven't had a chance to follow up. But thank you, Chris. This is the one that wants to take me on a date.
Taking for some drinks.
Take me for some drinks. You know how I
do.
All right. Howard says, I seem to think that Las Vegas still has about a 10 or 15% to go in losing home values. I was one of the naysayers last year when we spoke, and I still think the prices are too high. Listen, I agree, Howard. I do think we're still correcting in the market. But let's talk about home value versus price. right? What you pay is not necessarily what they're being valued at. We're actually still seeing in a lot of cases, the appraisers come out. So the buyer's getting a squeaky awesome deal of paying $20,000 less than whatever it was listed for. And the appraiser's coming out saying, but it's actually worth what they listed it for. So the buyer's actually walking in with equity already built in. Do I still think that we'll see a lowering in that? Sure, of course. I'm certain we need to evaluate and get things back on track, but I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. And I still don't think that it's something you should be waiting for to buy. Because by the time that does happen, everybody and their mama is going to be coming out just like you.
Exactly.
And then we're right back where we started.
And honestly, none of us have a crystal ball, you know, so it's hard
to
know.
Well, you kind of do, girl. I don't know.
But with home prices, though, like there's a lot of stuff that goes into that.
Yeah.
You know, it's demand. It's what happens in our economy. It's what happens worldwide too. Like when you're looking at home prices.
Yeah,
so.
It's crazy. So Raphael says, what is the plan to address the water shortage? Do most people purchase their drinking water? Really great question. We get this question almost everyone.
A lot of it on the water.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not an expert on water shortage. I have no idea. So here's what I know. Our teams of water reclamation experts and all of our water authority have been working on this for 30 or longer years, right? This is not news to us that we were going to have an issue with water. We knew it was coming and they prepped us accordingly. I would highly recommend going to the SNWA, Southern Nevada Water Authority.com website. Check it out. Don't watch YouTubers. Literally go to the source. Go to the source. Read their articles. They're putting out information all the time that says, here's the water shortage situation. Here's the situation that we're doing. Here's what we're doing to, you know, they spell out their plan. At the end of the day, I mean, I don't know that everybody buys their water. Do you buy your drinking water?
I mean, I do, but I'm trying to right now, like more filter it because it's the same as just filtering the water that comes out of the, like your sink or your refrigerator. So
I think it depends.
Now I'm trying to switch myself to where I'm not buying as much water.
I think we're all trying to save money is what we're all trying to do right now.
Yeah.
All right. Good question though, Raphael. Great question. Just go to SNWA.com, Southern Nevada Water Authority. They can give you all the goods on that. And, but just know, are you worried?
No, I'm not worried because Vegas, if you look at Vegas compared to others, like I heard that Arizona is in a big, massive problem because Vegas has worked for such a long time with the reclaiming of the water.
Yep.
So Vegas is definitely prepared, but go look it up.
I ain't scared. You ain't scared. Last one we're going to do today, I think, is Urban Backed. Thanks for joining us as always. You've joined us in the past. I see Leonard Homes. I think it's Lennar Homes has hundreds and hundreds of homes for sale in a large subdivision in Summerlin. Where are the people going to come from? Listen, I'm going to let you know right now. If we are building new casinos around the city for locals to enjoy, please know the people have been coming and they're still coming. Yeah. What I love now, though, is it feels a little bit more paced. We're coming out of the holidays, walking into this new year. We're in the middle of a recession or whatever, how you want to call this, whatever the next economist wants to fake that it's actually called. And the bottom line is California is our number one feeder market. We get like 77% of our new locals come from California, but we're seeing a big transition of people coming from Idaho, New York, Florida, Texas, Colorado, but California will always be the leader, right? They're our neighbor. Their tax structure is much more not as appealing as ours. Yeah. They've got that thing called a beach, but most people who live there don't take advantage of it, right?
Because they have to work 3 jobs. Right. They don't have time for the beach.
They sit in traffic all day, right?
Yeah, they don't have time for the beach.
So really, truly, to answer your question seriously, California is our number one feeder market, and they may have hundreds of homes listed, but there's also just, again, if you work with our team, we can give you the real inside scoop. There's a method to the madness of what they're doing. And so don't think that because homes are being listed and there's hundreds of them listed, that means that nobody's buying. That's not the case at all. There's a marketing methodology behind it. There's a corporate methodology, and we can help give you that insight track information so you really know what's going on. So you want to have you see inside versus kind of running with it on your own. So great question, though. Really, really good question. I want to say thank you to everybody who joined us today. Thank you, Amber, as always.
No, thank you for having me.
We love doing
I hate when we have to miss weeks.
I know,
so
no more.
See each other.
So next
no more
week,
vacations.
No, next week we will not be going live on Wednesday. So we will be posting in advance, though, so you'll know and you can tag to be notified. Next Wednesday, I'm moving my little girl to New York City.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to be a hot mess on Wednesday.
I can't. Don't
bring it up.
I'm not. Okay.
All right, I'm going to cry. Anyway, I will be on a plane moving my baby girl out of my beautiful Neon hometown to the Big Apple. She's pursuing her.
She's such a cutie.
Her
and little drive that she has, like her mama, right?
She's pursuing her Broadway dreams. She just finished her contract. She was dancing in a show at the Harrah's as a headliner, as their dance captain. until Monday of this week. We went and saw her last show.
Oh,
I bawled my eyes out, and now she's heading out to the New York City, and she's gonna I don't know, give that a shot. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with it. Okay, so anyway, we won't be going live on Wednesday. We'll likely go live either the day before or possibly on Thursday. We will let you guys know. The best way to know what's going on with us, though, is to subscribe to our channels and click the bell for notifications. We will keep you updated. Follow us on social media as well. We're really, really excited to be here with you, to be able to answer your questions. But more so than ever, I'm excited about the fact that we've been right, and that we can solidly continue to give advice without worrying that we're sending you down the wrong path. So
it is nice when you start seeing, ooh, we said that.
Absolutely, yes. I'm also going to be teaching some awesome classes to realtors. So if you've thought about getting into real estate, or you want to learn more about becoming a realtor, do me a favor and click the link in the description, or go to cerronegroup.vegas and just click the information button, even if you have to fill out faking that you're buying a house just to get yourself in our system. We're really excited about some of the cool stuff coming out. And I love teaching realtors, and I love teaching marketing. So
I know,
watch out.
Look at Laci getting back to teaching
I love
stuff.
it.
I love it.
Good luck to your daughter in New York. Thank you. Lionel says we're always the best. I'm always interested in what we have to say.
Thank you.
We love you guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
See you soon.
Thank you.
I'm going to go cry while I pack up for New York City.
Oh,